Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you to StudyIQ, and this is 23rd of April it is, and in the PIB lesson we are discussing very important MCQs, and in both Hindi and English language you get these lessons daily, and I hope these lessons are actually serving your purpose, because MCQs from exam point of view are extremely important at this stage. The people who are following these lessons daily, they will know the importance of these lessons on 2nd of June. So let's start the lesson, and the pen drive courses by StudyIQ, I daily tell you about them, and these are now new questions. First question regarding Biosphere Reserves. There are separate zones. Core zone is there at the center, and the buffer zone is surrounding this core zone. You can see in the picture, in the pink one this is core zone, and in the green one it is buffer zone, and in the lighter shade it is the transition zone. And you know, important biosphere reserves are there in India: Nokrik Biosphere Reserve, Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. These are very important BRs, and there are these separate zones. Zonation is done just to protect the biodiversity mainly there. It's the best solution for coexistence and preservation, conservation, and development of ecosystem and the balancing of this ecosystem. Okay, so in a holistic manner we do it because it's a strategy. Core area is totally protected and it has got the highest level of legal protection there. Next, there may be national parks, there may be wildlife sanctuaries inside that. Okay, so Biosphere Reserve is a bigger phenomena. After this core area there is a buffer zone. There may be some restrictions. Okay, so these are not absolute and these are not always there. So these can be customary, these can be officially given to this area. So it is not a delimited zone. So both the statements are correct. Third one is again correct. Transitional zone includes delimited activities which reduces its effect on core zone, like restoration, limited creation, tourism, fishing, and grazing. These things are correct. So all these options and statements are correct regarding the biosphere reserves. You can see M, monitoring and research, is there under the core area. Education, training, research, and tourism and creation, these are done in the buffer zone. And the lighter one is the transitional area. It supports in the excessive conditions, and maybe sometimes when some disturbance is going on in the core area or in this buffer area, then transition zone can sustain all these problems and it will support the biodiversity and species there. Next, these things are given as an explanation by UNESCO, because biosphere reserves are associated with UNESCO body. Vishaka guidelines, these are going to be very important. CJI has got this allegation, and Vishaka guidelines were started by Supreme Court only after the Bhamri Devi case of Rajasthan, and the Vishaka group, the women activist group that filed a petition in 1990s, and in 1997 Supreme Court gave these specific guidelines for sexual harassment. Before that, IPC 1860 that was used, and under it women used to complain these cases, but Vishaka guidelines were specific. So these are historical one, and these actually are no more there today. In since 2013 we have the act, the Sexual Harassment at Workplace Act 2013, and all these guidelines, they are safe with this act. They are kept as they are, but some definitions, they are broadened in the way the definition of the workplace, that is very broad now. All areas are under the workplace now, wherever women or girls they are working. So these are not first hand applied guidelines. A separate act is there today. So this is wrong and first is correct. So only one is the correct answer here. You can see article 14, 15, 19 and 21. These are associated articles, and this was the Vishaka and state of the Rajasthan case. Okay, next, internal complaints committee and all these are given under the 2013 act. So go through all of them. This detail is going to be very important this year, both for prelims and mains. Okay, next, FRBM rules. There are fiscal responsibility and budget management rules, and according to that, government cannot guarantee more than 0.5% of the GDP as a guarantee to these CPSEs and other government entities. So 0.5% is the limit by FRBM rules. Okay, and now the finance ministry, it has issued a directive that they demand a scrutiny for these guarantees which have been given to these CPSEs. because the disinvestment process is associated with that. Next, Mosirix. It's a vaccine. It's the first big scale malaria vaccine, and Mosquirix is the brand name of this particular vaccine, and GlaxoSmithKline of UK that is developing this particular vaccine under Path Malaria Vaccine Initiative. And Malawi is the nation in Africa that will be undertaking large scale pilot tests. Thousands and lakhs of kids and all, they will be given this vaccine. And you see, till now it has not been a proper solution, a total solution is not there, but it has been very very effective. So the mass scale testing is gonna be done here. Okay, so Mosquirix. Next, project 15 Bravo, project 15B is there, and it is adding state of the art warships to the naval fleet. That is perfectly correct. And recently INS Imphal is launched, and Imphal is the third one, it's not the first one. It's the third guided missile destroyer, and it was created under the project 15B and Mazgaon Dock Limited, which is there in Mumbai. So this second one is wrong, and first one is correct here. First naval ship was INS Vishakhapatnam under 15B. Second was INS Mormugao, and third one is INS Imphal. So 15, 16 and 2019 year they were launched, and under the 15B project, adding state of the art warships. So this time the hull and the ship design is changed, and this particular Imphal can accommodate 2 important helicopters also. So it is gonna add a very important warfare capacity here. Missile destroyer, as these are guided missile destroyer, these ships are. Next, All India Football Federation. You see, it is taking care of all the football scenario in India, whether it's any age category for the males and females both, and it has affiliation with the South Asian Football Federation, Asian Football Federation, and the international one also. It was established in 1937. So it was not 1988. This is wrong. So that's why it's wrong. Second one, Santosh Trophy. It's the national tournament for state teams and for the government entities both. And this time services have lifted this particular trophy. So this is correct. They have defeated Punjab here. So only 2 is the correct answer. Second one is correct and 1 is wrong. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. He is the president of Egypt. Now a big exercise is going on, and Egyptians, they are going through a referendum process where constitution is being changed there, and more and more responsibility is given to military. Around 25% I think the responsibility would be there for military, and they will take care of the civilian establishments, and military coups and all, they will not be there. And some of the people, they are supporting this move. They are supporting Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, and many of them, they are opposing it, and they are saying that more and more arbitrary tendencies, they will rise with this. And many international agencies, they have said that Fattah el-Sisi is actually an arbitrary ruler. So things are really maybe disturbing, or maybe they are going towards a progressive phase. So future will tell us what is going to happen there. But Abdel Fattah el-Sisi was the military general in 2013 when he deposed Mohammad Morsi from there. Okay, Mohammad Morsi was the 5th president, and he is the 6th president. Hosni Mubarak was 3 decades arbitrary ruler there, and in 2012 he was removed from the post. And after that, Mohammad Morsi became the president, and now Abdel Fattah el-Sisi is the 6th president there. Next, Asian Tea Alliance. It was recently launched in Guizhou in China. You see, there are important countries. Tea started from China. Britishers brought tea from China to eastern part of India, and India is now a major consumer and producer. So China is. So China, India, Japan, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka. These 5 countries and their tea marketing associations, they have launched this tea alliance, and Malaysia is not the part of it. So this is wrong. C is wrong here, and ABC is correct. Asian Tea Alliance. Okay. Recently, India and China, they signed an MOU also for promoting green and black tea consumption in European and US and Russian, these countries. Next, Gaylord Nelson. I told you yesterday, Gaylord Nelson was the founder of Earth Day. Yesterday we discussed about the International Day for Mother Earth. That was started by the UN resolution by General Assembly in 2009. So that was the first year. That was especially International Year for Mother Earth. International Day for the Mother Earth. But this Earth Day specifically was started in 1970, and it was proposed by in a UNESCO's meeting by John McConnell. But later, Gaylord Nelson, as he was the US Senator, he started this particular Earth Day in 1970. So he was given a Presidential Medal of Freedom for that, and it was very, very important. And he worked a lot for this particular move. So Gaylord Nelson was the founder of Earth Day in 1970. Next, World Press Freedom Index 2019. It is released by Reporters Without Borders, or Reporters Sans Frontières, RSF. This is the French name and this is the English name. Okay, the report is given by this body, and it's an intergovernmental organization, very important one, working in this area of freedom of press, freedom of journalists and all. And India has not improved. India is actually performing very shamefully here, and India is at 140th rank out of 180 countries. So it's really a scary thing, and it's a very problematic thing. Only both are wrong options here, because International Telecommunication Union, as a specialized body of UN, it has not released this report. Okay, this was RSF, and 140th rank is there for India. It was 133 in 16, in 17 it was dropped to 136, and after that 138, and now at 140. So we are consistently slipping in this particular area, and this is really a scary thing for the democracy. And the attacks on the journalists and right-wing rise in India, these things are really problematic here. And Norway as a country has topped this list, and you see Norway is one of the best countries. All these are Finland, Sweden, Netherlands and Denmark. They are always at the top of all the indexes. Okay, so RSF, it's a non-profit, non-governmental organization based in France, Paris. Okay, so that's important. So these were the questions today, and tomorrow we will come with new questions here. Thank you a lot. Keep watching. It was Amit.